Hello, hello. It's July 20th, and isn't this a beautiful view, if I say so myself? My canna lily on the right is blooming once again. The one on the left, there is a stalk coming out, and there's probably gonna be one or two more. My very first zinnia is starting to emerge. There's quite a few of them scattered around the garden, but I just love this. So colorful. Did I mention it's July 20th? It's a Sunday. My two sisters-in-law just left, so I had a chance to finally put away some bags. If I turn around, it's been raining today, and windy, so umbrella is down. Here's what the garden looks like. So this big green mess was a big green mess a couple of days ago. I moved all of the bags and then started staking all of the tomatoes, cutting off some of the bottom leaves. So it's still or moral of the story is it still looks like a big green mess, but there is order to chaos now. And I feel good knowing that the tomatoes are growing up the stakes and I have lots of flowers. I do have some fruit already forming. I don't see a whole lot of sign of disease or anything like that, so all is good, and I think we're gonna have quite a bountiful harvest of tomatoes this year. So we'll see how things go after a lot of worries, because if I remember correctly, looking back at May, I'm gonna have to look at some videos. My tomatoes were so set back and so small, so I'm happy to say that they're all doing really well. My love just ate one of these beets today again, so that's 2 down, a few more to go, but I am starting new ones. In the whole mess that I was cleaning up here with all these tomatoes, I found one pepper that was just completely overgrown. It was in one of the tomato bags. I must have stuck it there when I was planting both, and they both look small, and obviously tomatoes got way bigger than the pepper. So here it is. I dug her up, put her in its own pot. Hopefully now she's gonna get, well, I know she's gonna get more light and more air, and what I'm hoping for is that she's gonna bounce back and give me 1 or 2 peppers. I have no clue what she is, but yeah, this bag of peppers, there's 4 of them I think here, it was also just buried under the whole tomato mess. So I'm glad that I was able to finally tidy up things, and now we're gonna have some peppers growing here on this bag. And oh, I need to pick this one. These are tasty, but they're almost finished. So these peas were over there before, in that area, but I just kind of moved it now that I've reshuffled all of the bags. The bag is almost finished of these peas, or the peas rather are almost finished, and soon I'm gonna pull out the plants. I think there's 4 of them there, or six, and I already have some starts here that I started a few days ago. I've got some radish, trying once again, why not, but more beets and dill and kale and beans and lettuce. So I should start more beans. I should do that. What else for this week? I'm so happy that I had my sister-in-law come over today, because she told me that I should pick all my chamomile flowers and start drying them, because you don't want them I don't know what to call it, maturing or whatnot and going over, because yeah, the more you pick them, the more they're gonna grow. And then I looked up this video, and it said when the chamomile flowers, when the leaves, or the petals rather, are nice and open and not kind of like going backwards yet, overgrown, that's when you pick it, and then you dry it, and then you put it in a jar, and then you wait for more flowers, and you, oops, the camera. And so yeah, anyway, so just before shooting this video, I started collecting some of these chamomile flowers, and I have some more over there in a bag. So there was quite a few flowers out there too, so I picked those as well. Other than that, yeah, everything's growing really nice. This bezel right here, is doing so good. There's quite a few of them. There's like 2 tiny ones in this bag. This one's the only one that's doing well, but I'm happy with it because last year I didn't have any success with basil. Apparently it's so easy to grow, but not for me. So I'm glad that I'm gonna have some. It's looking really good. I can't wait for it to branch out, and there's quite a few more basil seedlings. Oh, my fountain is finally going again. This is like the first time this week. Anyway, I have more basil in the raised bed, and yeah, hopefully they're all gonna start bouncing back. We had quite a, oh, here's an example. That's the same zone, little tiny basils here. So some are growing, some are not. It really depends where you put it and all that. So anyway, so we've got some zinnias and phlox and cosmos and phlox here. These onions are doing well. Yeah, let's see. These peppers are growing, so these must be jalapenos, I think. I don't know if all of them are. These, obviously, these 2 are overwintered. I can tell by the trunk or the main stem, and the 2 on the sides are new ones from this year. And this munchkin, cannot wait for this munchkin to show me flowers, and it's got an amaranth left next to it. There's another munchkin right here, and my avocado and some more sunflowers that are not doing anything, but hey, they're green and they're sunflowers, so I'm not gonna throw them out. 2 new zucchini plants that are, I see they're getting little tiny baby flowers trying to grow there, so it won't be soon before they get much bigger, because these zucchinis, so there's what, 3 plants here. We've been eating so many zucchinis, and there's so much more out here. There's 2, there's 1 growing right there, there's more on the back plant. It's hard to see, but I can see it from the inside of this window. And then my cucumbers. Okay, let's see. Hello, cucumbers. There's another one there. There's one I see deep in there. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but so many more growing here. There's 3 plants, I think, all overall in this, on this obelisk, and they're doing so well. The leaves are big and green, while this guy I can see is struggling a little bit with disease. You can see the white spots on the leaves. It's still producing for me, and I was worried because all the leaves were turning yellow, but now they're actually starting to grow bigger. So I don't know if it's just gonna, like, it went through a thing and all the leaves have disease, but the newer ones are pushing through or whatnot. I'm not very experienced. Actually, I'm not experienced at all with cucumbers, so we'll see how things go. I'm gonna put this pea on the table. And then, oh my goodness, the beans are going nuts. We're about to, I'm just gonna have to come around. There's so many. I was able to pull a few today, and we had it with some breaded fried zucchinis. I love these beans. These are all just flowers, but there's so many beans here. This plant, or this bag, must have been planted before that one. I know I didn't do both of them at the same time, so yeah, so amazing. And then the red onions. This might be quite boring and normal to some people, but for me to grow in these, oh, baby beans, for me it's just so exciting growing in bags and on my little patio. Just taking a look at my whole vegetable garden that's all in bags, growing on a stone paver patio, and it just makes me so happy. So I'm gonna come around here. We have some peppers. There's, I think, 4 plants in this bag, and then there's 4 and 4 or 3, I'm not sure, but there's quite a few peppers growing. That's a jalapeno over there. I'm not sure. I think there's one that's actually, oh, I see. Let's see if I can come around there. That's bell pepper, and that's from last year as well. And I think I have one more at least bell pepper somewhere out here. But yeah, I trimmed a lot of zucchini leaves this morning before my sisters-in-law came, because I wanted to give these plants airflow. because zucchinis are so prone to disease as well, and it was just getting so bushy. I wanted them to get more light and air, and also provide some more light for the peppers. So I'm happy that I did that I thought of doing that actually. So yeah, and then this is just my rose. It's having a few new blooms next to the blue delphinium, just struggling because it's just overrun with the rose obviously. But then this is just unbelievable, the amount of grapes on this trellis. I mean, we just keep being completely amazed at this. Just unbelievable how much grapes we're gonna have. I keep forgetting what the plan is for these grapes. My husband's got a plan, so he'll take care of it. Over here things, so this hardy geranium stopped blooming already, but I have this zinnia here that I just stuck. I had an extra and I stuck it in the ground, and it's just the bushiest and the nicest, sturdiest of them all, so I can't wait to see the flower. The lamb's ear that I got from my sister-in-law is doing well. A transplant of one of the munchkins, I believe, just because I didn't know where else to put it, I stuck it there to fill a spot, and it's doing well. The blanket flower is showing its face, or two faces so far. These lilies are growing nicely, and the yarrow still waiting for 4 o'clocks. Oh, and the clematis is in bloom. It got chopped down to the ground earlier this season, so it took a while for it to come back, and yeah, it's doing well. And then we've got all the leftover sunflowers. There is one more munchkin, I don't know, I found it somewhere, so I stuck it in there. There's a couple of zinnias in this big pot with that big sunflower. And then here's a look at the shed. Oh, just the light this time of day, I love it. All right, the geraniums here, the flowers are doing so well around the fountain, and I just love my petunias and vinca vine. And then this, ever since we moved this pot finally excuse me, to the spot, just to cover up the crate or the greenhouse frame, and to also block Chucky from like going in there, because sometimes we get bees and stuff like trying to get into the shed from here, so I don't necessarily want to have dogs going in there. So finally this is kind of blocking Chucky from going there, which is great. And so ever since we moved the sweet pea, it just shot up, like it's getting so tall. I don't see flowers yet, but it won't be long before we do get flowers. And I did have some zinnias and some phlox planted in this planter, and I can see these, I think these were phlox. Obviously they're just getting overrun, and that's fine. I'll be happy with just the sweet peas, but who knows, maybe zinnias are gonna end up emerging from the back there. So yeah, it's doing its job, it's doing what it was supposed to do. So we're gonna come around here, and so we harvested a bag of potatoes. We did young potatoes one day this week, and they were delicious, and we still have 2 bags ready for harvest at some point. But I'll probably just, we'll see. If we feel like young potatoes, we'll do it. We're not huge potato eaters actually, so we either wait for the young potatoes, or it will be somewhat in between, or we'll just wait for the plant to die back and harvest the potatoes. And I keep forgetting that I have all this lettuce. I had a salad once or twice this week, or in the last week or so, so I need to do that again, maybe today for dinner. The second sunflower is opening, which is great. They're gonna be big. There's a little bee on my nasturtium. Wait, is that it? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's like a spider eating a bee. Ugh. I thought it was so beautiful. Oh, that's so amazing. Looks like this nasturtium is like climbing my shed wall. Okay, anyway, the cherry It's pretty tasty already, but my love wants to wait a little bit more for it to be very, very ripe. Some of them are still light, but then some are, it's not really showing in the camera, but they are quite dark. This one is splitting already. So, but they can be very, very dark actually, so. And then this one here is just turning red, so it will be some time. So, yeah, a lot of marigold flowers. There's another basil that's doing pretty well actually. My dill is going to seed. There's quite a few of those cucumbers, so maybe we should pickle. Oh, I have left these ties here. Yeah, we've been eating a lot of herbs from this raised garden, a lot of mint as well, so very happy with everything here. I wish it was more exposed to sun so I could access it from all corners. That's one thing. So I'm really looking forward to moving to our next house where we're going to be on an acreage and I'll have more room to properly give my spacings, my plants proper spacing, because I know my garden is very squished in and everything's overrun, but I'm trying to work with what I have, and this is how much space I have, so this is what it is. But looking forward to having more land to cultivate and work with, that's for sure. This clematis here is also in bloom, and we've got some red raspberries. I have to come and pick raspberries. We've eaten so many of them every day, and they just not the red ones. There wasn't that many because it's just the one plant that's coming from the neighbors. But I mean, our yellow raspberries here, they just need to be eaten and picked day in and day out. They just keep producing for us. We've got one tall sunflower here, and then a bunch of cosmos that is finally blooming. This one was called Seashells. Very beautiful color. Oh, there's gonna be a zinnia here. And so much fun because it's matching the color of this cosmos. Wonderful. And there's quite a few zinnias there, and then there's Lavaterra in this raised box. So for now they're being supported. I see some cosmos that are like spilling out and then going up. Eventually I'm gonna have to tie things up here, but maybe not today anymore. And then yeah, just the amount of raspberries. I need to come here with a bowl and then pick all of that. Crazy. Dill anyone? Mint anyone? Yeah, so my begonia here is doing well. Nasturtium. I did finally manage to deadhead everything because it was just about time. It's been a few days. Just haven't had the time for everything this week. We'll come around to the front. Not much going on the side of the house because on the other side where I have the 3 tomatoes doesn't get much light, so things are slowly growing. Maybe some other time because I am running out of time. I'm not sure why, but this nasturtium is the only one that's actually just vining down. Or maybe the one on the shed is the same thing. So it's quite interesting how some of them grow. Although I did mix a whole bunch of seeds, so who knows, maybe it's just the vining kind and I have no idea. I don't know. Hosta here. Oh, it looks like I'm about to have... They look so tiny. But here's a bachelor button. And there's some more. It's probably hard to see on the camera, but it looks like they're about to open. And then, yeah, I think it is like too much fertilizer in these pots, and that's the reason for this yellowing of the leaves on a nasturtium, because the geranium is doing well and it's actually blooming so nicely. And nasturtium too, but I don't think they like all that fertilizer. Not that I put too much, but I think they just don't like it at all. All the clover in my grass, which I'm totally fine with. And then here. My beautiful hydrangea cutting is doing so well. And then I'll just take a peek over here at the front garden. I got sold on impatiens this year. I will always be buying impatiens from now on, sticking them everywhere I can. These are starting to open up here. Oh my goodness, a big yawny. Anyway, yeah, I love how these impatiens are looking. I love how that looks with the green in the back. I'm glad 1 year, 2 or 3 years ago I started doing that, and I'm very happy I did. I never used to decorate with evergreens, but sold. Yeah, so everything is growing nicely here. The back pot's still having issues with ants, so yeah, that's about it. It looks like a dark, it's much brighter in real life than what I see on a camera. That's kind of brightening it up. But yeah, I love my sidewalk, and I love how green and cheerful it is when you come in from this end over the arch of the clematis. So that's, oh hi baby, you came to say hello. Yes, mommy moved the pots. Now you have to check out everything. Everything's out of order here. Isn't it, monkey? Isn't it? Oh my baby. Where's your brother? Too lazy to come out. Anyway, so that's gonna wrap it up for this week. Just a quick update, and let's just, oh, there he is. Hi, Chook Chooks. And we'll end it here. Bye.